There we go. Start the recording. So right now, I'll quickly go on the lower time frame, right? So we just rejected a 2025 low, right? So this is like starting to look like a deviation a little bit. What I would say is though, if if we lose this low, I might look to like open like a mid time frame short. Um, Stops would probably be like above this wick. I haven't really planned out yet because look, if we pull a fib, we hit the point 0.5, but we didn't really hit the 618. But I mean, we don't have to, right? Uh, I'll go. I'll go over back to like 97K and like look at the price action now and like see what's like kind of similar. But yeah, like if we lose this low, I'll start like it starts looking questionable, and I'll probably open a short in case this is the top here. Um, but if we zoom out a little bit, right? So my initial idea was this short here at this 618, but then it got a bit crowded. I think I already told you, Sash. Like people on X are like everyone's looking at this 83 area now, and I was looking at this like when we were here. So I don't know if MMs are like stupid enough to do the same exact, copied and pasted thing, like piece of price action as last time. Um, it would. I think it would be too easy now. So, like, if we do get another leg up to like 77, that's where I plan to like do like a start position. Probably like risk like 1 hour here, and then if we get like a move into this daily and then sweep these equal highs, I'll probably like DCA there. So like 79 to like 77. That would be like the area I would probably open to like front run this. And if it wicks above my stops, then I would probably think um, see that like the inval isn't really super clean, but it's above this like daily imbalance. So if we do like start trending up above this daily here, I would think we at least get 83. So that would be where my like giga swing short would be from. But again, like I would open this just in case this gets front ran. Um, Kind of like up here, right? So we've gotten this like um, let me delete the volume profile for now. So and get rid of the EMAs. So can you see like this higher time frame like anchored VWAP? We had the first rejection here, then we kind of started to accept inside of it, and then the second rejection was here at the zero point 0.5 fib. So if like it doesn't have to happen, right? But like if we get like the zero point 0.5 fib again, that's where I would DCA on this short. And of course, if we get like that massive leg up, kind of like here at 97K into the golden pocket, right, from like that high, then yeah, like that's where I would open, giga short. But I'm starting to think this gets front ran. So like kind of, I would open this early short first, and like if we're talking about like lower time frame, like yeah, if we lose this low, I look for shorts because if we go on the 4 hour, the low we need to hold would be this one here. So this little like lower time frame low that led to that higher high. If we lose that, like it starts looking fairly cooked. I mean, we've already lost 2025 low, so I would be skeptical if we do lose that 100%. Now let's actually zoom in a little bit and go back to 97K and look at what exactly happened there. So let me remove this bubble here for a second. So this was a pretty impulsive move up, kind of like we're seeing now. And what I'd say is like, if we get like the structure break, kind of like here, right, where we close and then 30 below there, I would do the exact same thing and like try like getting on a retrace, similarly to like where we're at now. I'd say like right now, we're like in this stage where we're not made in like a lower low. Um, so we could still make a new high, but we'll see. Like if I see similar structure on the CMP, right? For example, this would be like the low. Technically, the M30 low we'd need to lose, but I'd be looking to get in like early entry here. Like if we close below here, the M30, so 73.3k roughly. That's where I would look to maybe scalp short, but like I would probably not. I will probably have like quite a wider stop loss, and probably, you know, maybe target like VAH, or at least like, I don't know. I would say if this is a high time frame top, I do not want to close any like a short early, right? So I haven't super decided on like where my TPs would be, but yeah, I guess we'll see, right? I think what you drew, Sash, you were like, hold on. You drew something like this, right? But you drew it on the daily, so, oh God, what's happened? Let me draw it again. You drew like this, right? So, something like that, right? So like, or maybe, I can't remember. I think you drew it from this high to like this high here, and this is the wick, right? So, I mean, you could extend it out, but yeah, it makes more sense to me for like a channel to be drawn like this. So for like right now, it's not super obvious whether this is like a top or not. Because say it makes a new high, right? Like you could probably like, it's sometimes channels can be subjective, so you could like draw it like this and be like, oh, you know, we'll top out here or whatever, right? But like again, like it kind of depends on how you draw them and if you like include candle bodies or not, or just like, or you draw it from the wicks. But yeah, so if we do get up here to 77, I'll let us short. I'll probably open one on like a sub account and just kind of like forget about it. You know, kind of like you said, right? These are plays that like shouldn't really be micromanaged. I think that's one thing I need to improve on for sure. Is like keep my swing trades and like scalps like separate. For example, today I was like I was trying to scalp hype, but like I was very aggressive, right? Because yeah, see, look, very strong uptrend, right? So before I've tried to set limits and it hasn't worked. It hasn't worked out well. So with coins like hype, you got to be pretty aggressive with entry sometimes. So that's what I was doing. But on the lower time frame, Bitcoin had made a new high here, right? Like well, it was a lower high, but it would Bitcoin looked like this, whilst like hype just was like chopping sideways. So I wasn't too confident on holding the second long. That's why I cut it, and this long got stopped out. The rest got stopped out break even. So I probably could have had like a tighter stop here, but the thing is, like I could have seen a sweep of that low as well. So I was quite aggressive with the entry, and I gave some wiggle room in case it gave another sweep. So yeah, I'm no longer in this, and I think if we, you know, Hyperliquid is one of those ones where like, sometimes like it can take a while to like get going, but you know, if it gives a nice like a reaction out of POI, for example, if we come down here to this like demand zone here where like we had this leg up, I'd probably look to short like long around the 38.875. So like right above the AA6, and like that would be like the 50% of this demand zone here. I don't know if we get that, but you can see right now like had a pretty decent reaction here at the 618. But like I said, I think it's after I saw Bitcoin like starting to look a little bit heavy, I decided to cut this. So and then that was a good decision because look, now we're under this lower time frame like anchored VWAP, right? So could this be a short? Maybe, but I'm not gonna short Hyperliquid just yet. I think like my my POIs to like for like the forward CP was gonna be like $44. That's where I was like initially aiming for this. But I think like if we get this area, that could be nice. Yeah, it's a good idea to have a swing running. Your bullish candles are almost not visible. Okay, should I make it? How about this? Can you see it now? I might change the colors at some point. The thing is, I can see it on my screen. You might need to turn up your brightness. I will say though, on my mobile phone, I can't see shit. So yeah, you probably are right. Yeah, on the phone, yeah. To be fair, like I can barely see him either when I'm on my phone. But yeah, like look, this respected this pretty well, but because it got like back below the AV I didn't really want to put a limit here. It's kind of looks like it's losing momentum on the lower time frame, just a little bit. Not really the best M30 close here, but H4 structure is still bullish. This wick low here needs to be held for continuation. This wick low here would be, if we close under that, that'd be a H4 structure break. So, that low kind of like I would usually put my stop loss below there, but it could SFP that and it would still be a valid trade. So that's why if we get down here, I think that would be nice, good risk to reward to hop in this. But again, like that, this is on the assumption that Bitcoin isn't topped out yet, or like whether hype still shows, keeps showing relative strength to Bitcoin. So we'll see. Let's see. Let's quickly go over USD dominance as well. And Sash, if you have any shit coins you want me to look at, or anyone else, just let me know. I saw Asta was pumping today. That was interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that one. I went with the other CZ coin BNB, which is not doing so well. But I mean, I'm not on a close. If anything, I said I would DCA BNB, but I'll probably leave it for now. We'll see. So right, USDT dominance. So this close here, right, like could have argued pretty bearish in terms of the USDT dominance, which would have been bullish for crypto, right? But again, still this is still in an uptrend, in my opinion. And if you see here, right, like this here was like, I guess this fib pull is subjective, but the reason I pulled it from here is because like this was like the last retrace before this like massive up impulsive move candle. So that's why like I pulled the fib from there, from this low here. And like so far, like we've seen decent reactions from this fib. Like for example here, there was this was a good lower time frame short on Bitcoin. I think I did. Well, I can't really remember to be honest, but I remember like shorting around here at some point. I just can't remember if it was here or here. And then I would say like around the 886 here, we've just tapped. Like it would make sense to see some actual recovery on this chart. So that's why like I do have a short plan for if we start seeing like continuation here to the upside. So, but in terms of like high time frame structure, like this has not changed at all. I'm still bearish on crypto. Like I do not think the bottom is in. I think everyone calling the bottom early. are the same people who said the 4 year cycle is like won't play out again last year. When when we were at 126k, that was the month where the 4 year cycle like was supposed to end, and people were saying like, you know, it's not gonna end, and those same people are saying now that, you know, the low is in. So Sui, let's have a little look at Sui. I've not tried this in a while. Okay, so this was my idea that I had a while ago. Oh, sorry. Let's drink some water. So he's pretty strong, stronger than I thought it would be. Like, very clear, like higher high here, like higher high structure. So I would say that's a high low there. Kind of had like not really a double top, but like it was like a sweep there. Arguably that's your higher low, right? And we just made like a new low here. Let me look at it on the H4. Yeah, maybe we can't make a lower high here, right? This is a good area of relief, I think, Sash. So where are you? Where's your stop loss? I'm guessing you long like somewhere around here. 0.991. Okay, yeah, you got a pretty good. That's a good invalidation, right? Below these like below the previous like H4 low before this one, right? That makes sense. I would say like if we're gonna make a higher low, probably would be like I don't know, it would have to be like somewhere around here, I'd say. So maybe like think about TPing this at like, actually, well, depends. I kind of forgot, you do you aim for higher R or lower R on your trades? It depends. I think well, me personally, I would probably trim, I don't know. It depends also what your entry is. 2 to 3, yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's up to you. I think it looks good for another move up, right? But structure wise, you could argue this is your lower high break, like breaking here. Like the second it closed under here, that's not really like the best sign. But if we zoom out a little bit, let's see. Like I would have said this was your like supply zone here, like this up candle that broke structure to the downside. Saw a rejection here, like a sweeper there, and then we flipped it yesterday, right? Like for a couple, I would say like 5 or 6 candles, and now so here's the thing, right, with the closes, even though we wicked down, I bet like a bunch of people were bottom shorting here, saying like, oh, it's lost this level, blah blah blah, whatever. But to me, like this is it still looks bullish-ish, right? Like in terms of like this supply zone here flipping into like a demand zone, it still hasn't lost it on the H4 at least. So yeah, you're due for a bounce, I reckon, after this bullish close here. I mean, it was not like, I wouldn't call it an SFP, but like the lower end of the box, it did SFP. So that is a good sign for now. But to me, Sui doesn't look like the best alt right now. The one I was talking about was this one, Asta. I think you saw, Sash, like, I don't know why I went. I don't know, it must have been news or something, because this is just ridiculous. Yeah, that's kind of crazy how like I drew this a while back and like yeah, that's pretty insane. Like it tapped it. This was like what would you call it? I think you drew Sash like you drew like the PO3, right? You basically called it Sash. I mean, you had a good read, man. So you said like I just don't know where exactly like your manipulation because arguably this is obviously sideways like accumulation, but where was your manipulation, right? Um, I guess I don't even know. It's not super clear, but like yeah. But this is definitely like shit. I guess in hindsight it looks obvious, right? But CZ can move the shit hard, I think, and some news. Yeah, I mean, CZ Cabal, he can literally pump this 40% if he wanted to. No, just the support I was watching. Oh, okay, okay. Okay, that might have been a different. Oh, that was Hyperliquid, wasn't it? That you did the like the AMD PO3 thing. So yeah, your stop loss was like, I was damn man, that would have been that was a clean play. I probably wouldn't have even held that long if I if I'd even long this. If I'm being honest. Um, but yeah, you had a good idea with a sub account, like opening like a separate account and just like setting and forget. That is a pretty good idea. Cause like I mean, you could argue right, like the real moves, like the real money is made in swing moves, right? And then scalps should be like intraday profits that you like roll over into like your swing or spot account. You know, I think that would be like the actual goal. So um, I think that's what I might be doing. Like there are a couple swing shorts like I'm looking at, but like the thing is, the thing with for the swing shots and alts is a lot of them like I think it makes sense if we get like one more small leg up. So for example, I'll look at Ethereum real quick. Ah man, like it barely tapped the point 0.5 fib. Like if we get anywhere close to the 618, I'd love to short that like 2.5 to 2.6. We'll see. If Bitcoin wants to stop here, then is what it is. And for members, it's easier to follow swings. Yeah, that is true. I think as well, like because swings would be like higher win rate, right? Because well, what higher win rate in the sense that like you wouldn't like it'd be unless you've got like a super horrible read. Like it'd be your stop loss wouldn't like you wouldn't have like two stop losses in one day. You know what I mean? Um, like for example in scalps, like it's really easy to have like 3 or 4 stop losses in a row. But with swings, at least you can like slowly. You could even DCA in a swing, right? Like if you're slightly early to a position or whatever. So, and yeah, of course, like it's easier for members to follow as well. So, I think if we're just looking at Ethereum, right, like this strength has surprised me quite a bit. Like I was expecting at least like a bigger retrace before this like leg up, but like in terms of like Bitcoin and ETH, like yeah, like this one surprised me. Wait, ETH Bitcoin. This one was yeah, this move up. I saw this and I was like, wow, that was interesting. So be interesting to see where this tops out. I think on this chart, like just because it's going up, like doesn't really mean it just means like it's ETH is outperforming Bitcoin, right? And good about swing is can start 0.5. Yeah, yeah, that's true. That is very true. Like you could probably even well hold on. yeah, that's like probably what I end up doing with Bitcoin, right? Is like, oh, even here at like seven. The thing is though, I wasn't awake when. So last night this happened at 2 a.m. 1 a.m. my time. This move up to 76. Like maybe if I was awake, I would have started like DCAing, but I will 100% leave a limit in for this most likely. If you're asking like what POI this is, it's like this wick high here and these equal highs here that like are right under this daily imbalance. That's where I would start DCAing into the short. And if we hit the stop loss, then like the market is stronger than what I thought it would be, and we probably get at least to the 618. But in my opinion, right, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Say everyone right now, I think everyone, in my opinion, is waiting for 83. It's like the obvious level, right? Kind of like up here. Would MMs do the fucking same thing and like send it up there, or would they like front run everyone and like, hold on, that's a horrible drawing. I think you get the point though, right? Like maybe one more leg up before firm C, then just die. Keep making like lower lows until we get like this yen carry trade low, which I think it's guaranteed to hit. Like I said before, like for Bitcoin spot, I wanted like 38, which is like the 786 from 15K. But I mean, that might be greedy, right? But I think we at least get this lower. Like that's not that greedy, 50K. I saw live 76 with falling asleep. Damn. I mean, if you are on, I remember waking up and seeing that, and I was like, "Fuck me," that would have been a nice scalp short. Because a lot of people got liquidated, right? You could have shorted their liquidations. I think it was like, I can't remember, but I think it was it was over 100 million liquidations, for sure. Or at least on the day, it was like 350 or something like that. Might go to 70K, then another leg up. Let's see. 70K. Yeah. So like close to like this VAH of like 2024. 100% it could. By the way, like Sash, this is how I draw my ranges. So I usually like look at like, well, I'll go on the daily for this example. So I usually start it from like whenever like so for example, I would argue this was like a little low time frame range before this massive like impulse up. So I would just start it from the impulse candle, right? From basically when we left that consolidation here. And I've dragged it all the way from like, I would argue like this was all arguably like consolidation, right? We weren't making new highs, we were making new lows, but it was just SFP after SFP. There was no real displacement to the downside, or we weren't making higher highs, right? So I would consider this a range. It's not super clean, but it was, in my eyes, it's still a range. And on this up candle here where Trump won the elections, that's where I would say that new leg up started, right? So I would draw it from there to here. And that's kind of how like I get my value area highs and value area lows. I draw it from like, the start of the impulse to like the end. And so for example, for this right here, so since like we're arguably like, it's not super obvious, but say I use the anchored view, volume profile, because we're arguably still in this range. Like, yeah, we've broken up a bit above here, but we could deviate back down, right? So for now, I've just got it drawn like this. I've dragged it from here, and it's the same thing as like drawing it like this. It's the same thing. It just like, I would have to manually like every day drag this to the right, like as new candles print. I would have to manually drag that out. So instead of doing that, I just use this one, which is like automatically does it for me. So yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah. So not gonna lie, like this was pretty clean. Like you can see here, like we tapped the VAL pretty much perfectly here. We had like a close under the point of control as well, but it wasn't. We had pretty insane recovery straight after, right? So, and this was like a retest of it. This is where like my dumbass closed that long, like down here. No, it was this candle here. Like I had longed around here, and I closed like on a move up here because I don't know. I didn't want to risk, I guess, round tripping. And yeah, 67,300. I think I closed way before that. I don't know about you. You might have had it like a separate long. I think I closed earlier than that, but that's fine. So wave also called. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was bad execution for me, but whatever. But and we tried short. Fuck yeah. What happened? What do you mean? What do you mean? Fuck yeah. And we tried short. Fuck yeah. After we closed. Oh right. Yeah. I remember. Let me go to my intraday chart. I think I've got the long on here actually. I don't know why I didn't just look on here. Yeah, naked point of control and the demand zone is like why I initially longed. Yeah, bro, I closed hell early. If I had held to like VH, that would have been like an ATAR. And then this one was half risk, so I guess this one I could have managed a little bit better. Maybe not trim as early. So I was thinking if we see, I was thinking right, maybe leave. I mean, listen, I wouldn't expect the biggest bounce in the world, but if we do like crash back down to here, I would expect at least like a small bounce, right? Unless it's something like insane has happened and like we're probably gonna go to zero, but we'll see. That is the limit I was thinking of. But yeah, other than that, like I think I've covered my higher time frame thoughts on like, you know, I still think we get like one leg up at least to here. That's where I'd like to like open a short. And if this stops out, well, so be it, right? At least we get this here. And if we top out, if the other scenario obviously would be that we top now and we get back below, like, I'll also show you. If I pull the VWAP, anchored VWAP from, hold on, let me make it this one. So I would say this anchored VWAP, it was like like a good resistance level, right? And we flipped it for now. So that's why I still think we get like continuation as long as we hold above this anchored VWAP here. If we lose that, then yeah, I think it starts looking cooked. I think it starts looking pretty fucking cooked. But yeah, we'll see. And obviously, like, I think this the real move, in my opinion, would happen like probably after FOMC. Mainly because those are usually like FOMC days. If you go back, those are usually like where we form like local tops or local bottoms. So if we don't make a new top by, if we don't make a new high by FOMC, then yeah, like probably like the chances for like a local top being in are definitely higher. So we'll see if Asia like starts like Sailor really didn't buy here today at all. Um, the like the aggression kind of stopped during Asia on that candle there. So maybe it's because we're not. It's about to be FOMC and like we might chop a little bit. So that might be why. But yeah, we'll see. Kind of depends. I'll see where we're at by FOMC. Whether if I want to short and it looks ugly, then I'll definitely do that. But yeah, are there any coins you want me to look at? Just let me know, pop them in chat. I gave a scan for a couple alts, but none of them look like, to me, like not like super tradable. Like for example, pump. It's not really how am I meant to trade this? It's not super clean. I guess you could argue like this is like range highs, and like every time it like closes like 2 H4 candles, you can short. But then at that point, it's like you kind of got a shitty entry, right? But this is looking, pump to me looks topped out. At least like I'm talking like from like the all-time high here. I don't think we ever see that again. And I personally don't want to see that again because that would be, I kind of hate what they did to this. What they did to the space wasn't really good, right? Zcash was interesting actually because this was my like initial area where like I wanted to short like somewhere between like the 786 and the 886, but we are seeing like a rejection from this golden pocket here. So, you know, could we miss the short on this? I don't know. I pulled this from this high because that high, like, I mean, technically that high didn't lead to a new low, right? So this fib pull could sort of be invalid, and like, because like this high would have, if that high would have actually made a new low, then it would have made sense to actually pull the fib from there, right? But, oh sorry, it would have made more sense. The reason I've done it here is just like more so like what's the word? It's like well, I'm like more so like I'm pretending like for example, like this is still structurally bearish, right? Or like imagining it's still like made like a new low here. So I've decided to pull it, but like I still think we get like a smaller move up here, and that's why like, I mean, look, back here it would have worked because that like this high here actually led to a new low, right? But here I would have never left the limit here, most likely. I would have never left the limit there, but I guess some people trade fibs differently, so I guess we'll see. If that plays out, that'd be pretty insane. Well, obviously, like, we don't have that entry, right? But I guess if you were to think that ZEC is topped out, then you'd short here, right? And then target a sweep of that low there. Here. I mean, it's not the, I wouldn't say like it's an A+ setup. I would honestly rather like put my stops like above like those highs here. But then again, like things, I don't think it's bullish enough to hit the A6, so I don't think it would hit that. But it could sweep this high here. So I don't know, it's a tricky one. I think this one would be, I very highly doubt I can get back to 321. So I'd probably leave a short in for that. If we can get that, then I think that'll be very clean. One that I saw was picking up traction today was Lit, but again, like Lit for me is still, at least on the daily, like it still looks pretty cooked. Like it could hit like this and then just make a new low, right? It hasn't really necessarily broken out here or anything. Daily structure is still pretty cooked on it. Like if we get like a daily close above here, then I would look for like a retrace to get long on, but I just don't see that happening anytime soon. And of course, like if we make a new low from here, then like for example, if we daily SFP, oh wait, wrong tool. If we daily SFP this, I would probably look to short this to new lows. Hold on, yeah, wait. Yeah, I think Lit might be a good short actually. H4 SFP here. We haven't got the daily SFP yet. I would say if we make a new high here, wait. If we make a new high here, right? And we break below this low here, so 1.18, I'd say that's a pretty good short. And like your stops would be like above whichever high I made, and your target would be like new lows. So that's what I like. It has to happen like this though, right? New highs, M30 structure break here, and then either short there or you wait for a retrace, but that might be too like greedy. But I'll put both scenarios. I think actually Lit would be a good short here, because Lit doesn't really follow Bitcoin as much usually. Hold on, let me mark out that low there. 0.9. Obviously this fib pool, like it would be wherever like the golden pocket is from wherever the high to the low ends. That's where you would probably DCA, or if you're waiting for like just the retrace entry, that's probably what I would do. Because to me, like Lit still looks pretty cooked on the daily. Like I don't give a fuck. Like this is a, people will say like this is a high low, so it could be breaking structure if it makes a high high, but like, that's not the way I look at things. This could come up all the way to like up here, and I still wouldn't think, I would still think it's cooked. So yeah. Also, like let's pull a fib from here. Where is it currently? Oh shit, okay. Well, that lines up a lot better. So yeah, like if we whack the 618 there, and then like reject off, like you could even leave a limit in for this, for it here. So you know what, actually this could be like a second play. Oh wait, I'll do it a little bit wider. This would be like a swing short idea for Lit. Would be probably stops above the 786. And then target would be like down here, the same as like these shorts here. I'll just so it's like less confusing, I'll remove this.